Hey Globetrotters, welcome back to the channel. Thank you for clicking on another video. If you're new here, my name is Lori, and in this community, we strive to educate, motivate, and inspire each other in all things travel related. So if you love travel as much as we do, then feel free to click on that subscribe button because we'd love to have you. In today's video, I'll provide you with the ultimate guide for vacation rentals, covering everything from how to decide between a hotel room and a vacation rental, how to choose the best vacation rental. Let's dive right in. So let's face it, pandemic era priced hotel rooms are a thing of the past. Vacation rentals as well, where you can get like dirt cheap because no one was traveling. But again, we've talked about revenge travel, and so everyone is traveling. And so companies are trying to recoup their money. Individuals, in the case of some vacation rentals, are trying to recoup their losses. And so what they're doing is they're hiking up the prices in order to make up for what they lost over the lockdown. So some of the amenities also that you used to have for free are not even included as they once were. For instance, with hotel rooms, you're not getting daily housekeeping. Now it's housekeeping on demand. So only if you request it. So not demand, but upon request, only if you request it. And then also things like toiletries are not being included, and, you know, little niceties in the lower budget hotels, at least. And then with the vacation rentals, you're finding that the cleaning fees are higher. You're finding that fees in general are higher. The rental fees are higher. The cleaning fees are higher. The cancellation fees. Some are even doing zero cancellation policies. So if you cancel for any reason, you do not get any of your down payment or even any of the money that you put towards that stay. So the first factor that I said we would cover is deciding between booking a hotel room and renting a vacation stay, a vacation rental, whether that be an apartment, a condo, or even a house.
Okay, the first thing I would like to say in comparing these two is that it's not comparing the same thing. They're not the same. It's not apples to apples or oranges to oranges. In fact, they are more like a family member of mine likes to say, they're more like chalk and cheese. It's all about what you want. Vacation rentals aren't meant to be cheaper. They just sometimes happen to be cheaper. So I figured that I would give you this table comparing the two so that you can see when one would have an advantage over the other. So it all depends on the size of your group, the length of your stay, your needs specifically regarding the rooms that are required, the amenities that you prefer, if you have loyalty perks, and then if you prefer to do chores or not on your trip or on your vacation. So if there are 4 or more people, generally a vacation rental comes out ahead because you would be trying to get a room for, say, 2 people in one room, or even if each person wanted their own room. The length of your stay may also be a factor because vacation rentals tend to be less expensive over the long term with longer stays rather than a hotel room where you can simply turn around and be in and out of there. Whereas with a vacation rental, in a short stay, first of all, they usually do not allow less than, say, like a 3-night stay. And then the prices for cleaning are so exorbitant that even in a 1-night stay, that rental would have to be cleaned. And so that would be tacked on to the price of your stay. And so it would not be cost effective. The number of rooms, sometimes, especially people, if they're getting together for a family reunion or a wedding or some sort, then they require a dining room. They may require rooms for people to just have break time, a game room, all of those different kinds of things. Vacation rentals come out on top. Upfront pricing. Sometimes hotel rooms will pack on different taxes. There will be a resort fee. There will be a city fee. There are all these weird fees that come with hotel rooms that I'm sometimes surprised at. The amenities that are required If you like your hot tubs, if you like your pool, if you like your beachfront access, if you like a gym in the facility, if you like a restaurant in the facility, usually hotel rooms are at the advantage in this regard. If you like your loyalty perks, free parking for diamond customers, free late checkout, free early check-in, those types of things, extra points, double points, all of that points period, loyalty perks, hotels come out ahead in that regard. If you wish not to do any chores on your vacation, because even with the Airbnbs where they say that the cleaning fee is included, a lot of owners or management companies are requesting or requiring that you place all of the towels in the bathtub, that you wash all of the dishes before you leave, that you at least sweep all the sand up before you leave if you're staying at a beachfront rental. But even the basic things, even if you don't have to do that, things like cooking for yourself, things like cleaning up after yourself, things like changing out the sheets, the linens, in the middle of your stay and those types of things, then you would prefer, if you don't want to iron your own clothes, hello, that's one for me, and you wish to simply send it down to the laundry to get it done, then you can't do that in an Airbnb or a vacation rental. You're more likely to do that in a hotel. So the hotels come out on top for that. So this is a simple table, simple graphic to help you in your decision making regarding whether you wish to rent a hotel room or go with a vacation rental property. I hope this helps.
So in summary, you need to consider the location, you need to consider your group size, you need to consider your budget, and you need to consider your desired amenities or activities. Now that you have a better grasp of the pros and cons, you can make an informed decision and determine whether you want to do the hotel room or whether you want to do the vacation rental. So for comparison, I will use my stay in Puerto Rico. So I showed you in this previous video the luxury Airbnb that I chose for my group. And then I showed you also a hotel room at a luxury resort because I was traveling on a business trip. So part of my trip was about, going to this meeting and presenting research. I told you I'm an educator, so I present research at various conferences around the world. So I was going to present this research, and then I was also going to have some time, extend the trip, and have some time with my friends. And so the separate rental was for me and my friends. So I'll show you the cost, I'll show you the budget, I'll break it down exactly by this table.
Now let's start with the hotel room. This was an easy decision because my conference basically dictated which hotel we were staying at. Not dictated, but the conference hotel is generally the hotel that will be reimbursed by my institution. And so that's the hotel where I stayed. This was the Hyatt Regency, and you pay the negotiated price that the conference negotiated for that hotel room. So this was a discounted price because there was a large group coming in for the conference. So I stayed here. It was just me, and it was, I believe, 2 nights. So these were fabulous accommodations, and you have to pay extra for your meals and all those kinds of things. But it was pretty much, a landlocked decision, locked-in decision, and I did not require a car for this portion of the trip. So I did not include anything regarding the costs of parking. But if you had a car at this location, you would have to pay for parking. And you would, of course, have to pay for your meals at the restaurants because there was no way for you to cook your meals in the room. You would have to rent the cabanas, of course, for $100 a day, which was $1 for $100 a day. And there was plenty of room for the family to do like games, and there were pools and hot tubs and all of that. Now switching to the vacation rental, the group size was 6. There were 4 bedrooms, which made it very amenable and more affordable than booking a hotel room, because with the hotel room, we would have had to book 3 times the cost of whatever I paid for the hotel. I remember that the cost for the hotel was a discounted price. The total cost that you saw was a discounted price. Whereas with this Airbnb, the all-inclusive price included everyone being there. So the cost per person was way less. We had a, large space. We had more than one bathroom. So that always helps when it's a bunch of ladies because, you know, all of the prep and all of the luggage and all of the everything else. There was a rooftop area. We had the living room, we had the rooftop, we had a dining area. There was a full kitchen where we could prepare all of our meals. And then, of course, there was the beachfront access for free. There was a pool included in the community for that location. And yeah, so it made sense to go with the vacation rental. There was free parking, free access in and out of the gated community for the car that we rented. So that worked out.
You've decided that you want to rent a vacation property. The next thing is to do your research and to do your planning. There are multiple sites that you can do this research on. Unfortunately, a lot of them have been merging, or rather they have been acquiring each other. So it's becoming a bit of a monopoly where you won't have a true competition among these companies. But you should go to these sites, you should do your research, you should definitely do your due diligence even as you're doing your research. Because sometimes what you see on the site is not necessarily what is true in person. It's story time. You know, I love telling my travel stories. So a few friends and I were planning a trip to DC. And if you know about the DMV area, you know that it is very pricey, we'll say, okay? And so we were trying to go to the Maxwell concert, and it was going to be in DC. It was going to be also a number of other artists were going to be performing there, but we were there primarily for Maxwell. And we wanted to also do a little bit of a touring of DC. And so we looked at hotels, and then we looked at, you know, Airbnbs, you know, possibly renting an apartment or something like that, or someone's townhouse or condo. And we found one right on the outskirts that was going to be very reasonable, not cheap to where it sent off any red flags, but reasonable nonetheless. And it seemed like we were each going to have our own bed because, I mean, we're grown, you know, unless we're sharing a king size bed, we don't want to be sharing double beds, you know. And so what ended up happening was I booked an Airbnb with this 5-star property. It was like 4.5, something like that, which is why I say stick to 5 stars. But even with 5 stars, read the reviews carefully, call and double check things and all of that. Anywho, so 5-star property. This is a recognized host, super host. That's what they call it on Airbnb. Super host, you know, super host. They get back to you on time. They are very responsive. They give you everything you need, blah, 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 blah. Long story short, drove to DC. Got to the property. It was in an apartment complex that looked like you were in the projects. And if you know what the projects are, then you know what I'm talking about. But lots of buildings, lots and lots of configurations. It was like a maze going in and out of there. So, okay, first red flag, lots of projects. As you're even driving through the buildings, trying to find the building that we're supposed to be in, you're smelling a lot of weed, marijuana in the parking lot. There's nobody outside, but you're smelling marijuana in the parking lot. Second red flag. Third red flag, there are cars like double and triple parked everywhere, okay? Got to the building, walked up the stairs to find a unit, opened the door to the unit, and the decorations that were shown in the picture on the website were scotch taped to the wall, so transparent tape decorations on the wall. Went to the room. It said it could sleep 6. It was only 3 of us. It said it could sleep 6. There were 3 extra long twin beds laid side by side in the room. That could not have possibly slept 6. I don't know if they were saying it could have been, I don't know. It didn't feel clean. Okay, fine, whatever. We're going to start cleaning. We're going to do our thing because we're all, you know, clean freaks anyway. We clean the hotel rooms when we get in there. Get out the Clorox wipes, get out the Lysol spray, put the gloves on, and we're cleaning everything down, sanitizing everything. Go to the bathroom. Things just don't look right. Open the fridge. There's like leftover drinks. There's like a bottle of Alizé. And I know that's a throwback. If you know, you know. There's like half empty bottle of Alizé in the little basket where there's supposed to be the Wi-Fi password and snacks and stuff. There's like one granola bar or something. So a lot of like haphazard, half-eaten, don't know if they were ready for us to even be there, if there had been some cleaning done even prior to us arriving, but there were towels on the bed. So I'm assuming, yes, the beds are made, towels on the bed. Touch the sheets are threadbare. They're not even, and by that I mean like super thin, like scratchy thin almost. The towels, we open up the towels were not bath towels. The towels were hand towels. So I don't know whose body that was going to cover, but that was like a face towel for me. It was not going to get all of this. And so, yeah, towels were rough. Like Dollar Tree towels or dollar store if you don't have a Dollar Tree by you. Threadbare sheets. There was no mat in the bathroom, so that was a fall hazard. There was no bath mat to step onto after you come out of the shower. There was no Wi-Fi password. Open up the closet in the room, and I think I had pictures. I since gotten rid of them because it was just so traumatizing. This was my worst experience ever renting a vacation, and I tend to do my due diligence, and this caught even me out there. And open up the closet, and there were pairs of underwear hanging from a hanger, like someone had washed their underwear and it was drying. So there were thongs facing us as we were getting ready to check out the rest of the unit. At this point, it was like, okay, no. Try to get in touch with the host. The host would not respond. I'm texting, I'm calling using the number. This super host, now that we're there, is just like not responding at all. Finally, she calls us back. Well, by that point, we had already picked up our bags and like walked down the 3 flights of stairs and gotten into the car, had called, gotten online, found a hotel in DC, like within walking distance to the Capitol building. And so we just went and I think we booked the Crown Plaza or something like that. I'm like, yeah. But that was that very, very, like I said, this was just such an outlier situation. Because even after that, I booked in Puerto Rico and I called and spoke to the host and I read between the lines of all the different things. And I said, this is why I don't do 5-star, anything less than 5 stars. And I don't do anything less than a certain number of reviews. And then I read the reviews carefully to see what the people say, not just, the highest reviews, but, throw out the high, throw out the low, look at the middle reviews, see what they're saying. And if I had paid attention to those reviews. And so I'm trying to, teach you from my mistakes and the things that I learned, some of the things that you can learn, and hopefully you can avoid those mistakes as well. So in your research and planning, do your due diligence. Don't do what I did and just go with, okay, it seems reasonable. And the price is, I should have Google mapped the location and found exactly where it is. And, because, on Google Map, is it Google Map? Google Earth. You can actually have a satellite view of that location and then go down to the street level and see what's going on at that location, like have a panoramic view of what's happening at that location. So I would have seen the situation and known that I was in the midst of a project, and would not have a housing development project or whatever they call it. But back in the days in the hood in New York, in Coney Island, we call it the project, so whatever. But I would not have booked there. I would not have paid to stay there. I would have just paid to be closer to the city, walking distance, just valet my car and be able to walk everywhere. So call me bougie, but that is what it is. And I did not feel safe there. We did not feel safe there. And we did not feel comfortable there. Like I would not have wanted to take my clothes off and gotten underneath those sheets, not knowing if they had been washed. So I second guess everything when I find one thing is off. I'm just like, okay, I don't know if you cleaned anything at all. So yeah, that's it. Your complete guide to vacation rentals. If you've learned something new during the course of this video, then don't forget to give the video a thumbs up because it tells YouTube, it's a free and easy way to tell YouTube, hey, this content is valuable, push it out to other viewers who may be interested as well. And if you know people who personally may be interested in this video or could use this video, then feel free to just click that arrow button and it shares it, and then you can share it to others that you know. And of course, if you're not yet subscribe, click on the notification bell so you don't miss another video. As always, be sure to value experiences over things because travel is the only thing you buy that truly makes you richer. Ciao.